Alright, welcome back to this exciting project. I'm so much excited to introduce you to this project that we're going to do, right? So we're going to go to the lab where we're going to build a model which is able to classify items into groups. Okay, it's going to be able to group items, and then based on the groups you can segment them. Alright, so we have the customer data, and then based on the customer data we want to do customer segmentation. Alright, so I'm going to walk you through step by step in the code notebook, but the most exciting part is that I'm going to show you how we're going to build this app, okay, based on the data. So over here, instead of doing everything in the notebook like this, right, instead of building the model in the notebook like this, what I'm going to show you is how to actually deploy the model and then even build it right in the app when the user upload their data. Right, so if you come over here, right, so you see that I have a drag and drop file over here. Let's say that a user click on this and then they upload a file. Right now, as soon as they upload a file, the file is going to be uploaded over here and show you. So this is the file that we have. It's customer data, and we want to build a clustering algorithm on this, where we will be able to cluster the customers based on their behavior, their buying behavior, or the country they are from, or based on something. Okay, we want to classify them into a certain category. So if you see the data set, you see that we have invoice number, stock code, products, quantity, invoice date, unit price, customer ID, country, total, and then category. Okay, so what we want to do is that if you come over here, right, we want to do segmentation. So we can segment them based on their country, or we can segment them based on the country and category. So we have category over here, right? So, and then we have the products, and then we have the country that they are from. So we can segment them based on that, and then we can build the k-means model right inside this app instead of maybe building it over here, right, like I did over here. You see that if you go all the way down here, I built the model right inside here and I did everything, but we can also do it right from the app. Okay, so here, let's say we want to segment it by country. If we click on that and we come here, now I see what it's doing. So based on each of the countries, we are able to segment the customers. So United Kingdom, these are the products that are being bought over there the most. I did it for the top 5, right? You can do it for the top 10, top 20, or whatever. If I click on United Kingdom, right, I'll be able to see the products, the product categories in United Kingdom, right, and then present that one to my stakeholders. Or I can pick a different country, let's say Germany, right, and then I'll see the products that are being bought over there the most. I can pick a different one, let's say Belgium, right? If I click on that, you see the different products are there, right? Now we can also do that is based on country. You can also see the products that are being bought in each of them. So Australia, these are the products, Australia, right, Belgium, and all of that. You can see all of them there. If you click on the button again, it takes it off. Now you can go to the level 2 segmentation, where you segment them based on the category and the country. If I click on that and you come there, now see how it is this time. We have the country, and then we have the category, then we have the products in the category, unlike the first one where we have the country and then straight away we go to the product. But if we go to the level 2, we'll be able to see the country, the category, and then the products. Okay, so if I pick, say, United Kingdom, right, I can see the products that are there, and then for each of the products, what are the top 5 products. So if you pick the electronics, these are the top 5 products that people buy in electronics. Let's go back, and then if we can do it for a different country. If we pick, say, Germany, these are the products in there, right? If we pick, say, clothing, these are the products that are bought the most in clothing. You can go back, and then we pick, say, stationery, right? These are the products that are being bought the most. So you can do it for any of the countries that are here, right? You can do it for any of them. If I pick this one here, right, so Belgium, right, Belgium, and then you can see Belgium clothing, beverages, and all of that, right? If I pick, say, dairy, right, these are the products that are bought there the most in dairy, right? If I pick clothing, these are the products that are bought the most in over there. So I can segment my data set like this. This is how I want to present to my stakeholders instead of the raw data like this. Okay, see, this one is more interesting. Now that's not even the interesting part. If you go to the k-means, right here, if you click on this, it builds the model right inside here for you. So if you come here, you see that as we learned, right, you need to get the best key in order to know how many segments that you're creating, you're segmenting your data set into. So here the best key that gives us the minimum error that we are making is 6. So we use that one to build the model, and that's what it's showing you here. And then it's going to add the clusters into the table, right? The original table, you see that we don't have any clusters. It ends at category, but once it builds the model, it's going to add the clusters over there, right? And then it's going to plot this one to show you the clusters. So for beverages, right, beverages is in cluster 1, right, and then cluster 0 is this one, electronics and stuff like that. And then it's going to plot it for you to see which of the items it has clustered them into the categories. Okay, so you can see, so if you pick for instance 0 over here, cluster 0, right, you can see the items that are in cluster 0, which is very interesting, right? If you go back and then you pick cluster 1, you see all the items that have been clustered into cluster 1, and you see the names that it's giving you. So cluster 1, for instance, is this one's beverages, and you can see, right, juice and protein shake and stuff like that, right? Wine, they are all beverages, right? If you pick, say, cluster 4, right, it's saying that cluster 4 is what is this one, dairy. So you can see over there milk and things like that, right? Cream, cheese, they're all dairies, right? Yogurt. So it's actually doing very, very well. And this one is when, if you want all of them, if you want to plot all of them, in fact, you can, let's say I want to see segmentation for, say, cluster 0 and cluster 1, so I can untick everything else except cluster 0 and then cluster 1. Right now, see that, so I can do the segmentation like this and then present it based on what my stakeholders are interested in. If I go into cluster 1, I can present to them the things that are there. If I go into cluster 0, I can present to them the things that are there. Very interesting, right? And I can add, maybe I want to compare cluster 5 and cluster 3, right? So I can take cluster 0 and 1 off, and then I can do for cluster 3 and cluster 5, right? Which is very, very interesting. And I mean, you can also show the items that are there. So if you come here, right, so for cluster 5, you see that these are the items that are there. So if you want to copy them, you can just copy those items from cluster 5, right? You can do it for cluster 3. You see that cluster 3, these are the items that are there. You can copy them if you want, right? And then you can also show detailed clusters. This one, right, if you go back, it shows you let me even do it for all of them and see. All right, so this one shows you all the clusters, right? But I can show the category, the clusters, the country, and everything. I can show all of that. So if I click on detailed, right, and then I come down here, you see how it is. I can do it for the countries. I can compare this one with the one that we did here and then see if our model is doing well as compared to the original clusters that we have. All right, so you can also do it that way. So for United Kingdom, cluster 0 is for electronics, okay? And then if we go, let's pick UK, right? Cluster 0 is electronics. If you go in there, you see that things in there are electronics. Okay, so our model is really doing good. So this is how you can assess your model if it's doing good or not, right? If I pick dairy itself, right, I can actually go into details like that, right? Then it comes to the clusters and all that. I can do it for each of the countries that I have over here, right? This is for Portugal, right? You can see that, right? Go to beverages, go that. So I mean, there's a whole lot of segmentations that you can do on this one, right? And you can also see you can pick, say, each of the categories or each of the products and see which clusters we put that particular product into. So for instance, if I pick, say, envelope, you said envelope is a stationary in our data set. When we put it in cluster 5, right, cluster 5 is what, stationary in our data set. Cluster 5, I mean, after building the k-means model, cluster 5 is stationary, so envelope is supposed to be put there. So it's doing well, right? You can pick anything. Let's pick coconut water, right? Coconut water is put into beverages and we cluster it into cluster 1. Let's go and see what cluster 1 is, right? Cluster 1 is this one. You see that You see that, right? So I mean, if you see it over here, cluster one is beverages. That's what we clustered into. So our model is really doing good, right? That's how you cluster your items. So this use case can be extended to a whole lot of different use cases where you want to cluster the items, and then you want to build a model on it. You can actually even add where users can insert new data points, and then it will automatically cluster them for you into one of the clusters that it has. Okay, so that's really interesting over there, right? So we're going to see how we do this right from the scratch. I'm going to walk you through step by step how to do this and how to build it on your all by yourself. Okay, how to build all these things all by yourself. So I'm going to show you that in the lab session, all right, which is going to be very interesting. Okay, you're going to learn how to build your own app like this. All right, so let's get started.